Yes, welcome. J20 show. Myself, Craig, and to my left,
Mr. Lyons in the building. Great to be back.
Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, so guys, we've made this podcast to update you with all the latest going on in sports and the showbiz today. Firstly, hot topics on the menu. What do you feel about the Man United Ole Gunnar rumours going around?
Well, mate, before I even just interject you on that one, we've got a bit of background. We've got a bit of a background theme with what's going on at the moment with this showbiz world. Love Island, seems to have taken over a lot of our young people's lives.
Yes.
Onto the real stuff. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah, let's get all that showbiz,
away.
And let's focus in on the big news.
Yeah.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in or out?
Now, after last weekend's performance, Leicester City winning 3-1, the way United have been playing recently, someone who's been brought up supporting United, for the last 20 years, it's just kind of ingrained in our family tradition.
Yeah.
But I suppose for a lot of people in London and outside of London, obviously up the north, shout out to all the fans up north in Manchester, whether you're blue or red.
That's the 10%ers, because as you know, most of Man United fans are in London. Anyway, carry on.
And obviously we'll be reimbursing people for their train fares as well.
Is that the
No,
official Ole bandwagon?
The Ole bandwagon. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in all seriousness, do I think he should be given more time to sort of apply his trade? We live in especially with football, very performance-based industry.
Yeah.
Got to win games, similar to a lot of sports really. And if you're not performing, then obviously the manager, the backroom team, the owners, they're going to be held to account, and there's going to be the right checks and balances in place to make sure that club is running as the owners have strategised and got a plan long term. So,
well, it's funny you said that, right? That win and lose sort of mentality and ethos that most of these clubs have now.
Yeah.
But updates always come in fresh. That's why we're here, guys, give you the latest updates, right? You might have already known this, yeah? Nicky Butt has resigned. Now, after 9 years in charge, he's felt, is this ship sinking? And is it time to get out? Is Ole at the wheel, or is Ole being led by the wheel?
the wagon wheel.
Is that the process he's going through where he thought, you know what? It's the right time to evacuate the building before we have to call the fire brigades.
Now, this is not a stereotypical thing, but he's kind of been turned from a Danish pasty to a stale Danish pasty. So it's kind of like, and that obviously comes and goes with winning games and having the right momentum around you. But yeah, like you said there,
Yeah, because Nicky Butt was most of you might not know this, but Nicky Butt, head of the first team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After his stint at Salford City, as we know from the six-man job.
But I'm just looking at it, I'm saying, surely, what's Ole thinking? What's his thought process? Last year's getting loads of nicknames. Was it 4 3/4 semi-finals and 1-0? Yeah. Didn't advance to any finals.
Ole, tits in the trolley.
There you go. Yeah, the old famous one. This season, he's done it again.
Yeah.
He's gone in. Quarterfinals, everyone's thinking, it's Leicester, come on. They're already trailing second behind us, right?
It's on a playing field.
Let's show them, you know what I mean? Or is it a tactical genius? I just thought, let's give them the cup, the semi-final to stress and worry about getting in the final.
Yeah.
While they lose sight of the league, we'll grab that second place. Is it a bit of genius thinking, you think, or is it just Ole doing the Ole and trying to pull clouds over our eyes again, but failing?
If we're talking about these upper echelon teams, some of the best teams, whether you've got the financial backing or you've not got the financial backing, everyone has their own philosophy. Every football club has their own philosophy. So, us sitting here with no real impetus into the United forum, the strategy, the format moving forward, even for the youth academy, because I see he's trying to invest a lot more into the youth, the academy. Maybe not as much as what United fans want to see.
No, I love the youth, to be honest. That's one thing that I would say is, has improved, or might not even, that might be the wrong word to use actually, is there's a lot more light being shed on the academy, which is amazing for us United fans and the football world in general.
Yeah, but you need to have torchbearers. You need to have ones that are going to kind of set the example. You've got obviously Rashford, our good old mate Rashi, that we spoke about last week. But yeah, like we've got some of those. Obviously Mason Greenwood. Is it Greenwood? Yeah, Greenwood. Greenwood. I mean, you know a lot more than me about the kind of products coming from the academy, but.
There's some
good ones. Some good ones coming, and obviously, look, like any cycle, we'll be talking about athletes in the Olympics. There's always going to be the next crop, next crop. So we should be kind of giving. It's hard really to say should Ollie be gone, should he be given the sack, because, as I say, United's a big club, and ever since Alex Ferguson left, obviously with Moyes' sort of stint, then obviously you had Van Gaal, you had obviously now with Ollie. You know, United is a massive club. We're not talking about Morecambe. We're talking about Manchester United.
Yeah.
So,
do you really? There's a lot of.
Right, let me give you an example.
United one up soon.
Roy Keane, yeah. Roy Keane gets the job tomorrow. Yeah. Roy Keane then goes and has 5 defeats in 6 games. Yeah. What's the likelihood he's going to get sacked?
Very likely.
Is it though? Because he's considered.
No, he'd get sacked.
He'd get sacked, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So what's the difference between him and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Roy Keane, one of the best footballers to ever play for United. Captain, the club legend.
I think Ollie's been, my personal opinion, he's been very, very lucky.
Oh, very lucky, yeah. He's on a title kick, Craig.
I think like what you said, like the fact that they changed managers so often over the past 6 years. I think he's the 5th manager or something like that. So, or 4th since 5th since Alex. Sir Alex. So when you look at what they're trying to do now, I think he's the right man for the transition.
But how long do you give for that transition?
That's what I was about to say. The question is, are the fans in an unrealistic place where we're not understanding where Manchester United truly are at? Yeah. And we're being unrealistic about our expectation on what should happen based on good form. Yeah. Because the team has not evolved as much as everyone's saying they have. Yeah. In terms of every season we talk about, we need a centre-back. Yeah. We've been saying that for 5 years. We thought we had 1, then we thought we had 2, then we thought we had 3, and we're back to having none. So every year it's the same conversation. Yeah. Right wing forward. We've had the same problem. We thought we had 1. Since Valencia went back to right back, we've not had 1. We bought Mkhitaryan, remember? Yeah. We swapped him out for Sanchez. Yeah. Sanchez was just as pants. He went off to Inter. We still haven't had a right mid. So when you're looking at how the team has developed, have they really? They put Greenwood out there. Then every minute they're playing him in a different position. Is that good for Greenwood? We keep talking about Sancho. Yeah. All of these names popping about. I think we're very much in the same position. Yeah. The difference is they're world-class players Man United have. Yeah. All they need is a 10-game streak where everyone's on form. Yeah. And when you look at how fast a season is, how many games, you could have 10 games in 3 weeks now.
So let me ask you a question here. So put in Ollie's cult of personality to one side, and we're talking about structural flaws in that United team, absence of positions, absence of players, key players in those positions. Do you think that's kind of persuaded us fans to believe that if another manager comes in, they employ the right players in the right positions, then that will kind of be a quick fix for what's going on at the moment?
I think I'm worried in the sense of...
Because United's a long-term club. It's all about the long-term vision of the club.
I would have liked United to have gone for Poch, given Poch 5 years. Yeah. The difference why I'm using Poch and not Ole is Ole's done well with the first team. He's not the eyes and ears behind the academy. Yeah. So we can't shed light on the academy or give him the benefit of that. That's probably, sometimes that's worked down to previous managers. Yeah. That could be Van Gaal or Moyes. Moyes brought in the head of the recruitment when he was there. Yeah. So Moyes could turn around and say, well, that's all my employment that's producing these talent. You know what I mean?
So let us know in the comments, people, United fans out there. what you think, obviously the current status of the club.
Yeah.
Because we want to get people's opinions on what we think of United. There's no point in sugarcoating it. Might as well just give out what you think about United, about the club. That did kind of lead me on to what I wanted to ask you next about, performance. Obviously, we've kind of been in that that space where over the last couple of seasons we've had one or two players who have kind of been the star figures. Obviously we've got Bruno now, who's kind of been pulling the strings. You've got Rashford, who still has his inconsistencies but is largely an influential player. When are we going to see the reminiscent days of the 98s, the 99s, when you had 11 players on the field that were all contributing?
When we have a proper manager. And what I mean by that is have a philosophy that doesn't require running the fastest, being the most, let's say, free kick specialist in the team or set piece specialist in the team. When your pattern of play is with and without the ball, and you can see the structural changes.
Awareness,
when each player understands their role in the team. Until they answer all of these isolated situations, you might call them, because when you look at goals we concede, they're always isolated situations. But it comes down to one key fundamental. There is no structure, and your players have no identity or no style of playing. They play freestyle, and when they perform well or they raise to the occasion, because they're better than most players, to be honest, you'll win. When they don't, we lose. It doesn't take rocket science to figure this out. But if we have a manager with a style and a philosophy, that's what I mean by a style, a philosophy, a way of in which he would like his players to play. For example, Mikel Arteta is not the greatest manager. Arsenal was Wenger, FC. These new managers who came in, they didn't change the style of Wenger's play. But they weren't winning, and the team weren't performing, and the football didn't look the same. Arteta's got a philosophy that matches the team he's got now.
That's it,
It's not about the games he wins, it's about how does the team play, what's the style, is there any consistency, and can you see them going forward if you put one or two players in that team? And the answer is yes.
Because it's like pulling the strings together, isn't it? If you've got one player that's in the right position, he then sort of is the anchor of the team. He can set, like, for example, when we had Michael Carrick and Scholes, right, we're not talking Xavi, Iniesta, but we're talking just as effective. Scholes is up there. He's definitely up there. I'm just saying them two, like, you would never think
the relationship
wise, but also stature wise. They weren't like the big international
creme de la creme.
They just wouldn't give them the chance. But like I was saying there, so they're the ones that kind of then feed the rest of the team. They put in the balls, they ping the balls. Rooney, another example, coming deep, playing that balls to Valencia. I remember back in the day in the Champions League, blitzing defences. Now it seems with United we just lack the ideas, we lack the initiative, the intuition, creativity.
And that's why the pressure is on one man, and that's why before the pressure was on Pogba so much, because they had no identity, no style of play.
Is the level of coaching diminished? Has it diminished? Has it become less pragmatic?
Well, when you look at it, you've got three main coaches within the team, ex-pros with less than 3 years or to 5 years of coaching. So Darren Fletcher finished playing like 3 years ago, probably, right? He was coaching. Fair enough, the academy, but then they brought him straight into the first team. Carrick retired, started coaching the first team. What experience is that? Who was the next one? The guy they brought in one from Tottenham who's been coaching for quite some time. But all of these three new changes in such a short period of time as well doesn't help. Foreign players coming in, new players coming in, you building an identity because you're barely getting to know each other as coaches. So how do I understand what you want as the manager? The manager's been here 1 year, you've been here less. I'm trying to tell you my ideas, but you're going to be the coach. So there was a lot going on at United. I just hope that Ole gets a little bit more time, because I'm realistic and I've got to be pragmatic about the way I see United, and I don't see us as that championship team, because I think we're way bigger than those sort of levels that some people are trying to say. When we were 7th, you go to championship, you're going to get relegated.
But that's like anything. Look, we got to also balance that with, because look, United is one club out of 20 in that division, and the way the level of the teams and the level of competition is increased dramatically over the last decades. You know, since the days of United winning everything.
United,
Arsenal, Chelsea, yeah.
Man City came through.
Coming through, the
Tottenham
money.
came through. Yeah, no, it's true.
So even Leicester are winning the league.
Yeah.
Everton having a good season.
That's only to touch on to you next. Let's look at one man, amazing coach, Brendan Rodgers. What's your take on Brendan and his job he's doing? First, what he did at Celtic, and now to say, guys, it wasn't flukes.
Yeah.
You guys keep talking about there's only one club in Scotland.
Yeah.
He's coming to England and he's showing everyone.
Yeah.
It wasn't the flukes of Liverpool either. Everyone said, he just had the top team at the time.
Yeah.
No, he's doing it again with Leicester.
Yeah.
It's a much smaller club.
Well, it takes sort of a man to kind of, I suppose in a way, reassess his position in football. You know, go from a big club like Liverpool, not having the most greatest spell there, but again, probably just learning his apprenticeship, going to Celtic. Now, look, we're talking a division where Celtic were winning the league every season. There was no competition. We had teams like Motherwell, Dundee United. They ain't going to compete with Celtic.
No.
But
No chance.
Football's football. Anything can happen on the day, and you've got to be consistent over however many games, 30, 60, 90 games a season, yeah? So Rodgers did well, and what he's done then is to kind of come back as a fresh chapter in English football and prove that even with a club like Leicester, who've won the league, they've in recent years they've become sort of a household club. Yeah. Really. You know, not saying that they're going to ever compete with the likes of Manchester City over 10, 20, 30 seasons, because they haven't got the sort of resources or the infrastructure to compete against big teams. But in terms of results,
with Brendan there,
you never know. You never know. Football's a funny game. We both know football is.
Listen, their team's looking alright.
It's looking alright. But look at no Mahrez, no Kante, no Vardy, no Drinkwater.
Forget those guys now.
Look who they got now.
But look at those guys. Mahrez is alright. He's still done well.
Yeah.
Kante's done well. Drinkwater was always a journeyman, as they call him in the good old boxing and wrestling. Yeah. He's a guy to make everyone else look good. He's a workhorse. You know, he's another Henderson. Yeah. These guys, I'm sorry for him. I hope he picks up his career again, because I don't like the way football is up and down though. It's like that. Once you slip, you slide. You know, and that move to Chelsea it seemed at the time like a great move. Yeah. Not sure it paid dividend to him. But let's Drinkwater, if you're listening, come on, mate. We still believe in you.
Yeah, it's no disrespect. Come on, you know, like we said about the old friend. What's his name? We did go for a lot of. I think it's coming to that stage where we're trying to create our own sort of football encyclopedia.
Oh, listen, we're going to go through. Oh man,
it'll come to me in a minute.
But a guy that I wanted to touch on, right? Wesley Fofana.
Right. Okay.
What a centre! 20 years old.
Yeah.
Could play right back or centre back, and he made Martial, and Martial did work hard in that game. Look like a schoolboy.
Schoolboy error.
But who's the senior?
Range of errors.
Who's the international?
Yeah.
Big boy, Martial. Look like a. And I think Fofana's only playing for French. I don't think he's in the French under 21s team, to be honest.
No.
I don't think he's got a call up yet.
Time on his hands.
I don't think he's got a call up yet. But I'm looking at him, and this is where I speak about experience and who's next to you, right? Johnny Evans. And we've got a donkey over at United, where we paid, I don't even want to say the amount, for him to lead our defence and our youngsters coming through, because we've got some great youngsters coming through in defence. And when I look at Johnny and this young kid and the way they work together and how they play, the chemistry, the reading and understanding, the balance, the covering. And I look at Lindelof and Maguire. I'm struggling to see which two centre-backs play for their country.
Yeah,
first team.
Yeah.
I think Johnny Evans,
daydreamers that I call them,
would be the world-class centre-back. And this guy would have been, you know what?
Well, I'll tell you, mate, I'd rather see Johnny Evans in that back four than I do Harry Maguire, and that's for certain. I don't think he's fully recovered from getting sparked out by those Greeks out in Mykonos or wherever the fuck he is. But anyway, that's
another story.
That's another story for another day. But I think we should maybe wrap up with a couple of little pot-shotting news stories for the week.
Yes. So stories. What's in our storyline today? First one up. Over in the boxing world.
Yes.
On Saturday night.
Saturday nights.
The
body stretcher. White
versus
another drug cheat.
You always kill me with this
Two
one.
drug cheats fighting.
Wait.
Two drug cheats fighting on Sky Sports main event. Brilliant. What do you think of that, Craig? Great endorsement for the sport.
Well, forget the drugs.
To be fair, she did it well. It was only James 3D. It was only a substance.
He was only he got
we'll let him
misled.
He's a Londoner.
Yeah,
we'll let him off.
He got misled.
Yeah.
As a top athlete.
Oh.
Listen, Dylan, I got your back, yeah? Ain't gonna let no one talk smack about you. Now, let's talk about our good friend that he's up against. First fight, what a beating he was getting. Jeez, I felt sorry for the lad.
Knocked down 3 times.
Oh, sorry for the lad.
Yeah.
But where did he find it?
The punch from the gods.
Wow.
A very well calculated punch.
Oh, yes.
Slip down, drop the shoulder, come up with a screw, uppercut.
Genius.
Right through the middle, knocked him out, spot out cold.
Okay, so that's just one click of the finger, bang. And we're out of here.
Lapse of concentration.
Next news, over.
Yes. So prediction for the fight, who do you think?
Prediction, White.
You're going to go White to get
Body
the
snatcher.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Dillian White to win on points, I think.
Knockout.
Points.
Yeah, I think Dillian is going to do it.
I think it's going to go to 12.
Dillian is going to do him. Go. Have you seen the West Indies Sri Lanka?
No, so you're going to have to touch on that.
West Indies Sri Lanka. Right, this is like, it's not even funny, right?
Yeah.
What's the, let's say, biggest athlete you've ever seen, if we're not talking about sumo or like the athletics where we have the shot putters or anything like that, right?
Eddie Hall, bodybuilders.
All bodybuilders, we're not talking about those. We're talking about
just normal athletes. But
normal athletes where you have to be, not rugby either, because obviously they're pretty big.
I'm running out of options, Craig. Ping pong?
Yeah, man.
Is there a couple of fellas with big wrists? Flicker their wrist. Let me flicker their wrist. A little bit of a...
Well, the West Indies cricket team has only made history, right? Only Pakistan has done this before with Inzamam Ahmed, I think his name was. He was quality.
Remember that name?
Yeah, he was quality. I'm not going to lie, he was quality, right? Quality Inzamam, right? But West Indies have done it again. They've got this guy called Cornwall. Now, believe you me, this guy is probably about over 20 stones.
Yeah.
No hell of a lot.
Fast bowler.
Spin. So he comes in real slow. So
but he's got that kind of way to manipulate the ball.
With his wrist, because it's big. So I'm looking at this guy come in. And I'm already laughing because it's bad, it's terrible.
Guys,
I am a terrible
if you know
person.
anything about cricket, get at this man, please.
Yeah.
Because I know nothing about cricket.
I'm terrible for this shit.
I know enough about it to kind of understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, you shouldn't be so judgmental, right? But yeah, so I'm like, I'm like watching this guy, and I'm like just waiting for the inevitable to take place, right? But he surprises me, and I'm like, but he's good. How do I fault this guy?
Yeah.
His batting must be rubbish, right? So he goes into bat. West Indies having a nightmare. They're having a shocker. They're having a stinker, right? They're about, I think it was about 100 and, might not even have been 100, 60 something, and he goes in for 7.
Jeez.
So they got 7 man down. I think he's the 9th man in. Garner comes and saves the day. 60 runs, we clapping sixes left, right, and centre. Bah! If you haven't seen this, you need to watch it.
How many overs?
He was probably batting for about 15 to 20 overs though, but he pulled out the shots, saved them.
Shots, yeah.
I think he made them, he put them in a good position, and then the other guys let him down, to be honest. But it's a test match, so first test match. So he's the first. This is why. So breaking news: the first Antiguan to make a 50. That's 50. That's half a century in his hometown. Broke history, because obviously the match is in Antigua as well. Yeah. So it was actually a pretty touching story in the end, but I just found like I had to take a scenic route.
Yeah. And that kind of leads me on to the next breaking news: return of Formula One this weekend. We have the first race of the year in Bahrain Sunday, so obviously UK fans can watch that early hours of the morning. 9 o'clock I think start here. Obviously the first race. Michael Schumacher's son, Mick Schumacher, making his debut for Haas Formula One team. A new driver, a new pedigree to kind of follow suit from his father. The return of, I suppose, one of my favourite racing drivers at the moment, Pierre Gasly.
Oh,
great little
Gasly fan, yeah.
A big Gasly fan. Looking forward to seeing what season he has ahead, and I'm looking forward to Red Bull really, because you know, obviously now got Sergio Perez in the hot seat. He's kind of switched teams from McLaren to Red Bull. So if you haven't seen Netflix, Formula One, Drive to Survive is out now. New episodes, so go pick that up. So yeah.
Number one, still, I got my boy Hamilton. You're my number one. I hope you're going for it.
They all want to see Hamilton fall, but we want to see Hamilton strive and continue to set their levels.
Big boy. So yeah, that's our roundup, guys. So tune in next week for some more news round and some new updates on the sports around the world.
And be sure to see me with a haircut.
Oh yeah, could do one.
Could do with some braids.
Yeah.
Cheers, people, and we're out.